they're just adorable, really.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Almost.
God. Have we started?
Who knows? Maybe.
Who knows? Our audience doesn't care. They can take our jokes in our jovial manner. Zippity bop boo. Anyway, hey, we're back. And that's fantastic after our long absence because I was sick and then the power grid was sick. And that's just how our life goes right now. So, hey, everybody, welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus. Penning is also known as Cracked Palantir. And I'll be your host and game master for this episode 132 of Brise's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
My good buddy Max is here as always to play Brise, the lovely and talented paladin. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hello, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Hope you didn't forget about us in the 2 weeks.
I was not happy with that.
People were like, "What? What the heck? I thought they were done."
I thought they just
died.
The clue. I thought they understood. But
very exciting episode in store for you today, hopefully.
Yeah, always what we hope for. At least some intrigue and curiosities abound and some fun world building and so on.
And if not, then Brise will stab someone and make a scene. It's okay.
You just make decisions based on getting ratings. We're going to be jumping the shark here if we haven't already. So I do like this right here by me. Hello. So I feel like my buddy Josh doing that. Hello. Gang, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Let's catch us up to what we were doing. We were sort of doing some investigating, isn't that right, Max?
That is right. A lot to investigate. A lot of threads we're following.
All right. So tell us about what we're investigating, and then let's actually begin with the when and where. So you're in the managed city of Convergence, is that right?
That's right. At the magic shop, the Immortal Candle. You just left off.
And you're trying to find information on two different people. Talk to us about that.
So the first one is the more recent development, a necromancer by the name of Chelbrick, who operates out of a tower in the Vetch, this mostly wilderness land north of the city of Convergence that was recently taken over by the undead race, the Philistine. And the Philistine, we know, are erecting this large wall, this kind of fortification inside the Vetch, working round the clock. And Chelbrick has some relation to them. We know that he cast some type of curse around the construction that anyone who dies there will be resurrected under his control. And so there's some, plot he has, maybe using the Philistine to his advantage, or to some other aim. We're not sure, but there's been mention of him appearing in Convergence and in another city called Pleston, which is much further away. But in Convergence, in Convergence, we heard that some of his emissaries were purchasing barrels of wine and ale to be delivered to a private residence in the west quarter of the city. So small lead there. And then the other person we're researching is another necromancer by the name of Holver. And he, very powerful, believed to be very powerful, was able to summon a Nalglyph, which is just an enormous shadowy giant. And he has taken control of another necromancer's operation by the name of Volshad. And she has a spirit of an elven woman who can infiltrate dreams and influence people's dreams in that way. So he is definitely a mysterious and powerful and dangerous force that we're trying to get information on. We know that he is a well-kept human with long, dark hair, and he has. Oh, right, no, sorry, that's his emissary, one of his servants. We know that he has violet eyes as his really prominent feature. I remember, and also that for some reason he's flying the banner of Lord Hestus, which is a Penn Penn lord.
Right. The nation itself is called the Penn
Yeah,
Clans.
a lord from the Penn clans. Yeah, which doesn't seem to make sense. There's a lot of things that don't make sense about that. So it's another puzzle we're trying to piece together.
Yeah, directly contradictory. We know that Lord Hestus is very public in decrying magic, which would be, probably things like public use and display of magic is probably extremely illegal in the towns that he rules. Probably more severe punishments for assault with magic and things like this. And yet here we have a necromancer flying his banner. So I think, is there anything else we need to touch on? I don't think so. It's afternoon, right?
Yeah, late afternoon. I think that's all. So this session is maybe a little more research and maybe just where we have an appointment tomorrow evening with a man named Iron, who hopefully has had some interactions with Chelbrick in the past and can hopefully give us some insight into his goals and the way he works. But until then, I think we'll be mostly just doing whatever research we can and taking it easy for the time being. I should go back to the keep and also say hi to Aldrich, because it's probably been about 2 weeks since I've even seen him.
Yeah, it's
if I have a day and a half, it might be good to see if he's free during some point.
Well, I mean, that's certainly up to you. You can certainly step around the back and do that. Why don't you roll for me first?
Sure. 42.
There's something that bugs you about. There's something on the tip of your brain about the fact that those barrels of wine were delivered to the back of a residence, it's a connection that you are just not drawing, and it's maddening. I should hop over to the chat.
Maddening.
Tells me nothing to see here. I know that.
I just realized I've got my windows sideways. I noticed that's why my eyes were not looking in the right place. There we go. Now,
hey, my eyes are up here, buddy.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was doing it like this the whole time, like the wrong side of my screen. Okay. Delivered to the back of residence. Okay. I know he said it was weird that he did not have any spirits. It was only wine and ale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
we did. Remember, we made that dumb joke about necromancers should only have spirits.
That's right. You made an amazing joke.
You made an amazing joke. That's my bad. That's my bad for
beating an undead horse. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I guess I don't know what it could be. Private residence. Well, if it comes to me, then that would be good. But
I understand.
So late afternoon, we've went to the Immortal Candle. We've went to the Adventurers Guild. There's another good place. I guess we haven't really been to some of the where to get information on these necromancers, though. Probably not from any like the taverns, unless they're very like high end, maybe.
Right. I mean, it's true, because they're not, it's not like they walk around and people just glance up and go, "Oh, you're obviously a necromancer," right? They just look like yet another either scholar or spellcaster or clergy.
Right.
So
The other option is seeing if the temples are still. There's been long lines to get into the temples because of the fever that's been going around.
yeah,
We could pass by and see if it's still. If there's a chance I could slip in, maybe if the line's shortened up a bit in the last few days, because Claren would be a good resource to talk to as well. It's a priest that I'm very familiar with.
right. Yeah, one of your first friends you made in this city.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, all right. So roll to navigate.
41.
Not too bad. You make it to the temple with but a single missed turn.
Have we?
And huh?
Okay. It says we've been live 2 minutes. I don't know if that doesn't seem right, but
I've got here live 11 minutes.
okay. My whatever. Mine just messed up, I guess. Mine is working though.
You make it there. No, it's even worse. There are people now sleeping on the street. There are makeshift tents because you can't really drive straight stakes through the cobblestones. There are bodies being wrapped up in line and taken away. And now, of course, comes the question of, how careful you should be.
Yeah, maybe actually I should stop looking for information in Convergence and
before death converges upon you.
somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's time to go back to Balabry and do some reconnaissance there instead.
Obi-Wan, what happened in regards to what? The bodies? We'll try to get that sorted out for you.
He's killed them, obviously. What are you talking?
That's all I'm doing is walking around moitorizing. Moiter. Murder hobos, as some people call adventurers. So yeah, you sort of turn away.
We'll go.
Someone waves to you and calls out to you in Thax. It's a stranger.
Yeah, Obi-Wan, Karen. It's the fever that's been raging through Convergence. It seems to be getting worse. So people are in line to go to the temples for healing and offer prayers, and apparently it's
dying in line.
Them, yeah, even while they're in line.
So the
unwalking dead, yes, not to fear the unwalking dead.
That's the type of dead we like, honestly. Well, I guess the Noglyph was a crawling undead, and that
was unwalking.
That was no bunch of undead disabled people in wheelchairs, and you're like, no, come on, that's not what we need. That's not cool.
The wheelchairs are undead too. Ooh.
That's right. That's Tom Segura's bit about. It says, disabled people are just disabled people. Okay, like you don't have to treat them all special and go, "Hi, how are you?" And he's like, they have to earn their cool points like everybody else. He said, I saw a guy who literally, he had no hands. He had some sort of mechanical hooks, something like that for hands. And so I made it to the door before him, and I opened the door. And he was like, I don't need you to do that for me. And I said, and shut the door. I said, fine. Let's see you mouth that door open, stupid. It is it's older human male. waving to you. Doesn't know your name, um, but sees you apparently as a person of influence. And
Well, I'll see what he wants.
how close do you want to approach? Really close. Like,
I'll stand about 20 feet away and hey, I mean like 5 feet away and just see what he wants.
Surely you can make a plea on our behalf. We can't lose our spot in line. And he turns and his older woman says, "My sister. She's very ill, and they've got sort of a bundle of bags on them that they've made her a seat, and she's sitting there. She's coughing into a rag. There's specks of blood on your face from where she coughed, and surely you can see that we get special treatment. We have to make it inside. This is our second evening waiting out here."
Oh my goodness.
Opens his purse, his little money pouch, and he's like, "Anything you need, there are little gems in there. There is a considerable amount of money in there."
Oh, wow. Oh, so they're like well off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is he asking to see what I could do to get them to the front of the line?
Yes.
Wonder how Brise feels about. I mean, I'm just.
Obi-Wan. Oh my gosh, she's killing us today.
Their faith isn't strong enough. Thoughts and prayers. I mean, yeah. Honestly, I was gonna say what Brise would feel is if
certainly
everyone else is suffering just as much as you.
And certainly, while you've grown in your sympathy for the poor, you certainly feel, you still feel that wealth does mean you are better than other people, and so you do feel that, which is a belief I've never held. I have never been one, but they. So you do believe that they deserve to be the front of the line. What would you like to do?
Okay. Well. I mean, obviously, talking to the guards wouldn't do anything.
You're like, I'll tell you what, I'll just take your purse, and that way you'll have less to carry.
Less to carry. No, I don't. I mean,
he slips off a ring.
I don't want his money or anything. I genuinely don't think there's anything I can do. Is the problem?
Sure. I mean, although you could use your own wealth to bribe to get them at the front, that is not uncommon.
Would that work? I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, like it'd be very conspicuous and cause a ruckus.
Well, I mean, that whose problem is that? Nobody's.
All right, well, we'll try that.
He offers you a ring. He's like, "Please, anything you can do, anything you can do." Your guess, just looking at it, is that ring is around 600 gold.
Wow. That's pretty great. I'm going to go I'll tell him that wait here. I'll see what I can do to have one of the guards take you to the front of the line.
He presses the ring into your hand and stuffs more coins into it.
Well, no, okay, I have to.
If you want to keep the money, you'd let me know.
Brise is going to put it back into his hands because she is not.
And what about the ring?
Put the ring back in his hand. I don't need your charity.
So you you push the 9 mithril back into his hand.
I do.
And
wait, actually, 9 mithril. Hold on. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Brise isn't really concerned about monetary.
Right.
Doing pretty well off right now.
There's a great line from House where the doctor has written a check and passed it to somebody, and the person tears the check up, and he goes, "You're tearing up the check because you think it would be wrong to take money from me?" And the guy tearing up the check says, "I think it would be wrong to take so little money from you."
That's hilarious. I'll push it back and then go up to, one of the guards at the front of the line, who looks like they have some rank.
Well, do you want to keep a couple of mithril to?
Well, actually, you're right. That's true. I'll use that to bribe the guards. That's actually a good idea.
Okay, so like you say, you just take it and show him 2 coins, and you push the rest back, and you'll say, "I'll see what I can do." And the other people around him are poor or middle class. I mean, likely it's poor. The middle class really hasn't developed yet. Although I guess in fantasy settings, they suggest a larger middle class than what really exists. But anyway, a lot of shop owners.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of shops around here for.
Exactly. So you approach, and people are sort of glaring at you angrily. A guard, you're pretty certain you've seen him at the temple before. Oh, he totally recognizes you. This guy is. Here's my chart. Wait, did I ever find that chart? Speaking of, no, I did, because here it is. He is a high man, no doubt of Finnish descent. Wow. And you remember him because he is strikingly handsome. Wow. He is better looking than Aldrich.
Wow, what?
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
So he gives you a fairly deep bow, and
oh noble handsome guardsman.
Exactly.
Listen to my plea.
He says, "Pardon me, I forget your name," and that rich Penn accent. He says, "I know you are friends with one of the clerics here, but there's nothing I can do. All the clerics are very busy. Few have gone home in these weeks."
I say, my name is Brise, but the healing is not for me. And I point to the...
Except for an injection. No.
In a very specific location. I point to the wealthy family at the back of the line and say they've been waiting for,
24 hours at least.
Yeah, more than 24, at least 24 hours, and they need care immediately, and they deserve to be seen.
So do all who wait in line. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do.
I will try to slip in the money. It's like, please, you should reconsider.
He glances into, you've sort of clasped his hand, and he feels the coins.
He feels more than the coins.
Wow.
Loins and coins.
Oh, loins. Oh, we call them cloins here in Texas.
Loins.
Um, loins and coins. So he says, "You're right. If they've been waiting that long, certainly, and bring them forward. Bring them forward." And he gestures to some guards and points at the family you direct him to, and they look and they nod, and he says, "Please bring them forward, Lady Brise." And you go and bring him in, and the guy tries to shove more money at you.
I refuse it. I say, give it to the temple. Give it to the gods in your prayers. If you must give it to someone.
Dude, I don't know why he brought all this money with him to begin with. God almighty.
He's just like wherever he walks, you just hear like shaking and jingling.
Yeah. Wow. Whatever, I mean, your hands are not large enough to hold the stack of mithril he gives you. And you push it aside, but it would be the equivalent of 40 mithril.
What?
He rolled a 99.
Is that like what is he, like the banker for convergence?
Yeah, basically.
He stole all the monopoly money.
He rolled a 99, a 98, and then a 94.
Wow.
That puts it at 4,000 gold. Which obviously you can't carry around.
Yeah.
So it has to be mithril.
Okay, well, Kevin, is this like the most amount of money you've ever seen in your game?
No.
No? Okay.
Mara, played by the lovely Obi-Wan. Mara and my brother Andrew and our friend Tahid, they met an earth-dwelling fae. That is, they don't flutter about, right? They live underground and all that. They were being helped by these people, but they don't. This fae, because they are underground, they don't have a lot of sense about human society, but they wanted to help. Mm-hmm. And they said, "We know that you find special metals helpful, that you're pleased to see them." So here, this was within the hill that they were exploring and so on, and gave them, I forget what it was. It was something like a 30-pound lump of gold.
Jesus.
And so we did the math, and I think it wound up being, I'm trying to think how much it was. It was an enormous amount of money. I think it was 16,000 gold.
4 times this amount. Wow.
Yeah. And so, yeah. He does push a gem into your hand. You do like gems.
All right. I'll take it.
This is a dark purple gem. It's an H1 in value. He says, a glittering gem for a glittering gem, and they get taken into the temple, and again, the 10 guard just bows very deeply, and says very openly, that he hopes very fervently that once the fever has passed, that you will come and visit not just your friend, but your new friend as well.
Say, well, I mean, might as well make acquaintances with this guard. I say, does my new friend have a name?
I am known as Fetrium. I am known by all here, despite my low rank.
Okay. Then I say, I will see you again, Fetrium. Thank you.
He has an appearance, if you just want to make a note of this,
Yeah.
of 110.
Wow.
I guess technically Aldrich is, I guess he's a 113. So he is slightly.
Yeah.
So I guess they're probably neck and neck. You don't have the big.
I would need to put them side by side. Like, come here, both of you. Just
exactly
right there. Like,
exactly. Now here's some oil. Just oil up. Let me just really take.
Turn 30 degrees.
That's right.
Okay.
So,
well, you know what? Max feels terrible, but Brise feels good about that. So,
and I like that tension. I really do. I like that where it's like, oh, I don't want to do this, and my character would do this, and I like those moments.
Yeah.
That to me really is the essence of role playing, where you don't always do the advantageous thing.
Yeah.
And you do things that make you feel crummy, and anyway. Because even board games, right? You're playing a role. How is that not role playing?
Yeah. You sometimes have to do things that seem unintuitive or against what you would do as a person.
Right. You're not going to be able to see Clarin, but at least you did a good deed, and now you have a beautiful gem.
Okay. Well, I am going to find someplace alleyway I could teleport out of here and into Balabry to continue some of my research there, or espionage, I should say. Information gathering. What are my teleport spots?
Well, if you're going to teleport back, why not see Aldrich?
Yeah, sure. I guess I could go to the keep, see when he's free, and then ride into town on my horse. Where's my horse? I think they're at the keep, right?
No, I don't think. Did you ever pick them up from the farmer? The one horse, your extra horse?
Oh.
Well, one horse was eaten.
Yes.
By the great eagle.
I picked up the other horse.
Did you? You did pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Maybe. I hear the lingering note.
Oh, no. I actually have a note to pick up my horse from town. Well, then we'll do that.
Your horse is going to be longer in the tooth than you ever remembered. It's been.
Yeah. No, I have not picked up my other horse in town. Wait, what does longer in the tooth mean?
Oh, you don't know that expression?
No, I've heard of it, but I don't even know.
In relation to horses, it's okay. So it's an expression of age. Is generally what it means. Okay. Yeah. She's a bit long in the tooth. I'm a bit long in the tooth. Whatever. And it comes from horses' teeth. The horse's teeth never stop growing because they wear down with grain. Right. Similar to some is it parakeets?
Rodents are like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so having long teeth is a sign of age, but you also have a vet come by and rasp their teeth down, so that it doesn't cause injury to the oral cavity. But that's what long in the tooth means. It's a expression generally of age, but seriously, its origin is that of horses.
Horses, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Long in the face and long in the tooth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Golden
There's a Long County in Georgia, and I always want to go, why the Long County? But I actually know the history of that, so that's really sad.
You do know why the Long County.
That's right.
Or how the Long County. Okay. So, we will teleport then to the keep.
All right.
Channeling boots.
For me?
Roll, you said?
Yeah.
83.
All right. You don't fumble. Isn't that great? And roll again. That's a 9 exhaustion instead of the normal 10.
41.
And you teleport to the little clearing beside the road, that the switchback that leads up to the keep. You forget how warm the lowlands are compared to up in the mountains. It's still, even though here we are at the beginning of summer, or really approaching the beginning of summer, I guess. You're, it's probably just now getting 90 degrees here, and it was
Yeah. We just passed it, so should be a little. Actually, it was really funny. I was just in Denver, up in the mountains, and so it's kind of around the same time, right? It was like a little chilly in the mornings, but it was pretty hot in the afternoon.
Right. Yeah.
And like once the sun goes down, it's dry and high elevation. It gets chilly again. Yeah.
And you're immediately in a shadow so quickly.
Yeah.
It's so weird. All that is just like, because it's like the same concept of your own shadow, but it's just a mountain-sized shadow.
Right.
Right. It's like, oh, why is it there night? Oh, well, that's just the earth blocking its own light. And you're like, that's so wild that it's so huge, but so simple.
Yes.
Crazy. Back without a problem. What would you like to do? Head to the keep, I assume.
Yeah, head to the keep. Head to my room.
And you don't have a familiar anymore, do you?
I do not. And that's actually something on my to-do list, is to see if we can find another one using my tome of familiars.
Right.
Actually, we could do that maybe later today or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Need to look through those spells though, make sure I understand what they do.
Finally, you get your first woodchuck familiar. Bless you. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wait.
I get a woodchuck familiar just to see if he can chuck wood.
You have the fever from Convergence.
Oh
well. Roll it up for me. Give me a roll.
Just like dies. 65.
Okay. You make it into the keep. Repairs and so on continue. This sort of freshening of the castle and are you expecting any notes? Do you have any communications you're expecting that I should go through and roll for?
No, shouldn't be. Not from Fraldrin, at least. Main person. So I'll head to my room and then maybe ask one of the servants to send a note to Aldrich, see if he's free tonight or tomorrow.
Right. Let me see here. Check. Get it correct. All right.
Can you have insects as familiars? That would be interesting.
Probably.
Yeah, not a very good
I mean, the ultimate spy, but
right, exactly, yeah.
An
ant, like, just carry that ring for me,
like a squire ant, carrying a weapon. Like, why is that dagger being dragged across the floor by an invisible force?
Ooh,
and why do I hear heavy panting? It's because the dagger is heavy as hell.
I guess if it was like an atlas moth, then it might be, kind of soft.
A rhinoceros beetle.
Yeah.
One heft. Your quarters are ready. There are embers that are left in there. People quickly stoke the fire for the evening chill, and you send word to Aldrich. He makes an appearance at your door. but they were preparing you for a bath, and so
Perfect timing.
exactly.
Care to join me?
So there is this sort of awkward moment, and it's the first time you've really, I mean, you blush because here you have
Yep.
the servant, right? That you don't think anything about seeing you naked, but
Right.
you can't have the man here even while you're in the bath. You can't. And the hesitancy between you two about what to do about that, you can tell, what the goblin servant is thinking. And so you go bright red. He says he'll take a turn around the garden. You guys, certainly the servant can fetch him whenever you're
Thank you.
through. He says he's in no rush. He finishes work early, and out he goes. So you undress and slip into the water. Take a hasty bath and dress, send your clothes out to be cleaned. And Aldrich returns, and very soon it'll be dinner and it'll be dark.
Mm-hmm. So I tell him, ask him for dinner and to spend the evening together. Many interesting stories. Would love to tell you.
He says, right now there is one thing I want from your lips, and he just strides forward and grabs you and kisses you passionately. And it's a bodice ripper now. You know that expression, a bodice ripper?
No, but that one's very direct.
It is, but it's a reference, though. It refers to literature, a type of book.
Literature.
So, like any of the, like that very pose, right? And like that, and the bodice is partly open, and the man is behind her, and it's they call them historical novels, but they're bodice rippers. Is really what they're
very historical. Yeah. They make history with that.
They do. They make the people that are in history. They make them do things that mommies and daddies do when they're very much in love.
Noelle loves romance novels, so next time I'll tell her she should read a good old bodice ripper. See,
I'm curious if she'll know the term. That'd be interesting.
She might.
I was going to tell you something I've forgotten. I can't remember. You guys, wow. But when you wake up,
okay,
that dress did not last long.
I've been there before.
There's wow. Yeah, well, just kidding. Now you're blushing. Look at you. Well, that's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, Brise has it good, man. She might be getting almost killed every day, but wow.
The rewards of coming home are, if you're skewered out there, you get skewered in here, whatever. Keep it PG, guys.
Killing potion after that.
That's right. Keep it PG. No, I think what you mean, Obi-Wan, is keep it RPG.
Keep it PG, guys. Yeah, RPG. R for restricted.
That's right. We're keeping it BR. Yeah, you basically had sex, fell asleep together. It's now early evening. He dresses and He says, with your permission, I'll have them bring dinner to us. So there's supposed to be a light ball this evening, a light dance this evening. But you feel like just staying with your dude.
Brise isn't really in for parties too much. So, feel free to. Would very much appreciate that.
So he calls to a servant and has him, has her bring food in. You guys talk and so on. Are there particular stories that you will make sure you hit?
Yeah, I want to tell him about Obrieve, absolutely, because last time I saw him was right before I left to go to that. So tell him about my witnessing Obrieve and journeying to the world of Odis.
Was it Odis that you went to?
Yeah.
Okay.
My thighs.
He does listen attentively, but he's clearly distracted.
Pay attention to me.
That's right.
I'll stop and ask him if something's the matter.
He tells you it's nothing. He's clearly lying. How do you react to being lied to? I mean, that is.
I was going to say Aldrich has, kind of lied to me before, but usually if I push him, he kind of tells me the truth. So I'll tell him that I prefer honesty over secrets. Tell me what's bothering you.
He relents. He tells you that there are new fashions coming in from the desert nations, mostly from the one to the south, which is the Gravita Empire. And the techniques they use, they're really beyond him. And if he can't master them, should they become popular here, if he can't master them, he's in danger of losing his position.
Oh, wow.
Now, he says it may be that they don't catch on here.
Right.
And that's yet to be really determined. We've just got early samples. Whatever they say about the goblins, I have to say that my supervisor is very forward looking. He wants to be able to produce anything that's on the horizon. And so he has contacts that will let him know what the latest fashions are and send him samples.
Right.
So then they deconstruct them and try to put them back together, and duplicate them.
Interesting.
And he says my early efforts have been very poor. Now, maybe I could find a position in Ballabry and so on, but this position here obviously is so much more prestigious.
Well, I ask him, what is it do you think you lack? Is it training or just more experience with different fashions?
Or
this magic item that gives you a +10 to so.
That's right. I mean, you think that's not part of the game, but it absolutely is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it's this magic flute, and that's how I made my fortune. Because like it's a plus 40 or something ridiculous. He says I just can't get the proportions right. And I can't. My stitching on these garments, it to make the fabric fall correctly. It's atrocious. No, I've only attempted 3 different outfits, but my companions are doing so much better than myself. Allow myself to introduce myself. It's from Austin
Just
Powers.
into 2 people, like, oh my god.
I'm just struggling, and I don't know. It's just on my mind. But he does seem to take a great deal of comfort in being able just to talk about it.
Yeah. In that case, I'll kind of just, make sure I'm close to him and listening. And,
Noel's watching, taking notes. It's so great. This is what he needs.
I was gonna say I really do like a lot of these scenes because it's very much like putting myself in those shoes. I'm like, oh yeah, how would I treat my like
significant other? Yeah,
they came to me with a problem like this.
And so like he becomes much more affectionate. Well, not much more, but he in terms of like just in terms of really just physical affection, showing your closeness,
Right.
squeezing your hand and things like that. Obi-Wan K is taking notes. I know from personal experience that Obi-Wan K needs no note taking. She is an expert romantic partner. I know this.
Yep. I know too. Absolutely.
Oh God. Oh God. I think everybody knows that part of it. Most of the Marines. And so, but he feels freer to like listen more fully to your stories. What's the other story you want, or the other stories you want to make sure he knew?
Okay. Let's see. I did want to tell him a little bit about what's happening in the vetch. Just, try to explain it in terms, high level terms, right? There's a great evil operating in the vetch, and it's growing stronger by the day. And, there's only 3 of us here at the keep who are, able to keep tabs on it. We can't do much more than that. And, no one else has really stepped forward to help, even though we've sought help from far, and abroad.
Are you gonna mention the details about the various investigative angles you've taken, or is that more just sort of?
If he seems interested, right? Like if he's invested in the story, I'll tell him.
He is interested, definitely.
Yeah, I'll tell him like who I've, we know there's pursuing again. I guess you wouldn't know what a necromancer is, but yeah, a powerful a man who wields magic involved. Been researching where he's visited the various cities around the Vetch. Only have a few leads.
Roll for me.
35.
So you mentioned the wine comes to the residence and that it's bugging you.
Yeah.
He says, "Is it his residence?"
I don't know. It was simply a private residence in the city. It could be his or one of his,
Well, I mean,
someone working with him.
you could go to the tax office.
There's a tax office. Why would I wait in line? Why would I want to wait in line at the tax office?
The property has to belong to someone.
I see. Find out
His
who.
name is on it. My father, ever looking for the angles, would know which of the nicer homes were empty, which ones had residents, and would quickly try to find the name of the person paying taxes on that home.
Okay.
And then would extend his services to them and know their name already. And of course, obviously, the nicer the home, the more quickly he would try to get that information. Now, it costs us some coin at the office to try to get quick answers before our competitors did. But then you would have a home to observe, and perhaps then you might be able to follow these wizards and know where it is they go to and from.
So he's saying if I can look up, because I have an address, so I can just look up who owns the property in the tax office. Okay.
Right. I mean, you won't be able to look it up yourself, probably. You'll probably have to get a clerk to do it.
Right.
And,
Name.
a couple of gold under the table.
Okay.
You at least get a name. Now, maybe it's a fake name, but if not, you're onto something. If you're not convinced that if you're convinced that it's Chelbrick, but a fake name, you still can watch the place.
Right.
And that opens up a whole possibility then for, finding if Holver has property somewhere.
Right.
And you're like, well, it would just make sense, right? I mean, where does Chelbrick go after a party?
Right. He's got to stay somewhere in the city.
Because you think drinking and driving is dangerous. Try drinking and teleporting.
Oh, Brise has tried it. Absolutely.
No, you don't know. Okay, are we really talking about Brise, or Ted, you have multiple DWIs? Does Florida call it DWI or DUI?
DUI in Florida.
That's what Georgia does too, and I always get tripped up when they say it otherwise.
W with.
Yeah, driving while I'm talking.
While. Oh, driving while.
Yeah. Whereas ours is under the influence. So you're like, oh my gosh, this opens up a whole area.
Yeah, I didn't really think about going that route. Okay.
Right.
So, give him a kiss. I'm like, Alter, that's a genius idea. I'll try that.
I forgot this was your boyfriend, and you said give him a kiss. I'm like, what? Jesus.
Fine, I'll stab him instead. Jeez.
Forward.
What you do?
We'll return the favor, stab him. But the very promising, you think, and roll for me.
86.
And again.
100.
Okay. And you have overheard the tax office is here in the keep for Ballabry.
Oh, okay.
Well, really, for the whole county, for every community in the county.
Okay. That would help with Holver, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's a good note for us to take a break on.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so we will, guys, we're just going to run, stretch our legs and refresh our drinks. So
Come back, we'll be waiting in line at the tax office.
Waiting in line at a temple, smuggling people in. So while making a few bucks. So give us just a minute. Thanks for hanging with us thus far, and we'll see you in just a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being patient with us. Let's get my good buddy Max back here. Oh my God, there he is. That's terrifying.
I've been posed there for the last 10 minutes.
I told you that yoga would pay off. All right. We're having an evening. We've with Aldrich, and we're learning a new investigative technique.
Yeah.
So now you've got an avenue. Is there anything else you want to accomplish this evening, or should we just sort of roll through?
Yeah, I think we'll roll through. There's no other stories or anything I wanted to tell Aldrich, so that should be.
Hey, Quinn, thanks for joining us.
Yo.
This is going to be a shorter episode, given my kind of rough day. So Quinn, you don't have too much to endure from us, but thanks for showing up. We really do
Missed all
appreciate
the spicy scenes, Quinn.
Oh yeah, you did miss some. See some RPG banging. It's an evening that you could definitely get used to. Just excellent food from the keep, a fireplace. Not really roaring because it's not that cold, but a nice fire, and
very comforting. Yeah, I was thinking Aldrich said like if he can't keep up his job here, which I won't tell him this, right? But if he doesn't, gets kicked out of his job here, like he's gonna lose the comfort of the keep, which is really nice.
Well, yeah.
Not to say that we could easily buy something else in town.
Right.
That's nice.
That's right, Obi.
And protection too. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's true too. Quinn, the same sinking boat that's also on fire. We have Titanic problems, you and I, buddy. So, man, I'm getting dry mouth. I knocked most of this cup out. So he slips out in the evening, late evening, make sure he's seen to cause you less embarrassment. And it's the next morning.
Okay.
Roll your 3.
We got a 1.
Okay.
Is that subtracting that, or is that?
Yes.
Minus 73.
Okay. And next roll.
28.
Okay. And next roll.
And then 50.
All right. Apparently, despite your financial comfort being more than enough to take care of him should the worst happen, you find yourself just really worried about what
she's definitely pregnant.
You're worried about what it's going to do to him and his sense of pride if he gets fired from his position. So you have not slept at all.
Wow. Okay.
So you just tossed and turned all night. It's the first time we've had a character with a night of insomnia.
Yeah.
It's morning, as little as that means to you. Servants are asking about bathing. They're asking about breakfast, excuse me. What answers do you want to give them? And then what do you want to do for your day?
Yeah, might as well. I didn't get a good night's rest, but might as well make the most of the day, right? Carpe diem. So I'll try to go as normal, just have a breakfast and bathe as usual.
All your clothes have been cleaned. You eat. That seems to do the trick because you are falling asleep at the table at the end of the meal. You remain in a dressing robe through breakfast. Do you want to fight through?
No, if I'm falling asleep, then I'll. I mean, today was kind of
A
not
wash day.
anyway. So I'll retire and try to get some better rest than I did.
Well, breakfast is brought to you. You're eating in your sitting room.
Oh, I see. Then I will
It's required
finish eating and go to the bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep it off.
So you tell them to keep the fire low, and you go to sleep. Roll for me.
48.
Okay, and roll again for me.
Let me try that again. 67. Got caught in between the mouse and the.
Yeah, I trust you. I do. No dreams of note. You do wake up feeling much better.
Okay.
It's early afternoon now. Do you have awaiting any notes? We've already done that for this one, right? Yeah, we have. And are there any tasks you need to, or any reports you need to give, like to Athene or anybody? I don't think so, is there?
No, I mean, again, Karandrin and Dostrick we're meeting at tonight. So yeah, and the Trinidas don't really have a date set with them. But yeah, no one I need to report to here at the keep. In fact, it's interesting because the last time I was at the keep, I talked with Fraldrum. We immediately teleported to the Vetch, and since then I've kind of been all over. So it might be worth like just reporting to Lady Athene and see if there's anything, Meagral or her have for me.
Right.
No, yeah, just seems like the prudent thing to do.
You just send word to Lady Athene and tell her that you're back.
Mm-hmm.
She says that they probably won't have any particular tasks for you for easily a week.
Okay.
You may recall she says that Lady Meagral is on sort of a tour with her best friends. Do you remember?
Aneve, yeah.
Yeah, and so while she maintains contact with the keep via, of course, courier, royal, well, not royal, but noble courier. It does slow down, like plans generally, and so a given message takes easily 3 or 4 days to pass and get an answer.
Right.
So she says, consider yourself on your own recognizance for 1 week. But after that, she expects you to check in on that date. First thing that next morning.
Okay. First thing a week from today.
Yeah.
So there's 30 days in June, right? So it'd be 26, 27, 28. B.
Let's all help him count.
Can't do math. I'm bad with month math, if that makes sense.
Oh, well, I think everybody is.
Yeah.
I mean,
should be the third.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right then. Um, early afternoon. Um, no messages from Aldrich or anything.
Okay.
He's no doubt hard at work trying to duplicate those graviton designs. Um, not only are they graviton, they're deeply graviton. What? Um,
Get gravid in these designs.
do you want to visit? You want to take a long shot and see if the tax office has any note of Holver
Yeah.
and Volshad, actually,
I
right?
was thinking that. Yeah, I mean, she's from this region too.
Cunning goblins read you like a book as you walk in. How can we help you, my lady? Of course, the great thing about goblins is they can be brave. No question they can be brave. But overwhelming force unexpectedly, they can also be absolute cowards. So if you're tired of being played by a goblin, you know the thing to do is to make a show of force. They are just
I mean, I am taller than most of them. It's not too hard.
most, yeah. I mean, no kidding. They're about 5 foot. They are just seething with exploitation when you walk in. So,
My hands on the counter, and I say, "I wonder if you could help me find some information about some individuals."
well, I have a hard time believing, madam, that this is official business. It would be highly inappropriate for me to share, even with someone of such esteem, records of a private nature.
I am. Hold on. What's Quinn saying? I'm having a 13-month calendar with 28 days each, and capped with the New Year's Day that stand on its own. There you go. Okay. I slip. I guess would be a good amount of five gold coins. Seems, put that on the table and slide it towards him, and then
We
say,
just put it on the table.
"Yeah,
Don't even move it toward him, right? And just, every time he
oh, yeah,
picks you off, just pull one off.
as an as an offering," and say it doesn't have to be official business.
Truer words, wiser words, madam, I have never heard. Oh, so what records? And he just scoops it into his long fingered hands. What business can I help you with?
Say I would like a list of any properties or ownership associated with the names Holver or Volshad. Any records you have on them?
Going how far back, madam?
That's a good question. I mean, how far back does it? What's the oldest record you have? How long would it take to search?
Well, obviously, I mean, you're not going to search for.
That's what I'm not sure. How old is it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're both Hyman. That is high human, if you will. And so we know the Volshad is of considerable age, but it wasn't in this area.
Yeah.
We know that what's his face is very young. We know that Holver is relatively young.
Okay, that's fair. So maybe the last 30 years would be more than enough.
Yeah, but you think they're going to be here for 30 years? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was saying is how long does it take for him to search 1 year versus 2 years? You know what I mean?
Right. So maybe start with 5 years.
Okay. I say start with, should be in the last 5, but if not, try 15.
He says it may be morning before we have you an answer. Will that be all right?
No, it's fine.
And you give your name, they stop you. We know who you are, madam, of course. There's no one in the keep who doesn't know your name. and off they go to search. You can see them as they're turning to go. The two clerks are turning to go. They're, one is like grabbing at the hand, going, give me my share of that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I love goblins. I just love the rascally little bastards. I love them.
Bastards.
And it's my South Georgian accent coming out. Bastards.
We have an intern at work, and she's from North Carolina, and I could I kind of hear it a little bit.
A little Appalachian.
Their drawl in their accent, just like very slight.
I was at a book conference for Appalachian Studies, and there was a gentleman there who just wore overalls. This is an academic conference, and I was like, well, this is a different sort of look for an academic, I got to say.
This is how we dress, all the academics, and
that's right.
So,
all right, so off they go to do the research. Where to now?
We're might as well go to Lady Kieran, her keep or her estate, and we could try to find a familiar in kind of the wilderness around there. Might be a fun little.
You can find a lot of drunk foxes and things like that.
All the vineyards.
Yeah, all her vineyards.
I get a familiar, but he has an alcohol problem. Wakes up with the shakes.
What type of fox is that? Cirrhotic. That's the type of.
Vulpus cirrhoticus.
Live and let liver. That's the. So.
No.
All right, so you pack up. Although you could get a. When do you due back? When do you due back?
In the evening.
This evening?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger. So probably send a note to Aldrich, right, and say, "Hey, I forgot to mention, but."
Yeah. That's true.
That's funny.
Probably,
do you want to leave a note about when you'll be back?
I don't know what's going to come about from this meeting, so.
But do you make a commitment and just tell
them?
Yeah.
I say I'll be back within the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So send the note, pack up your gear, and.
I forgot to. Can we tell the tax office Chelbrick as well? Oh wait, no. Chelbrick is inconverted. Never mind.
Right.
I confused myself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you. All right. So roll to cast. Roll to aim. Using your boots.
Oh, did I heal all my exhaustion from my restlessness?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So rolling to cast, we're teleporting. I memorized the spot at her estate, I believe.
Oh, but you still can't make it there in one go. You got to do 2 teleports.
Oh, that's right. So I have to go to. Wait, how did I?
Right, we skipped over that.
No. Did we?
Yeah.
Right. I can't tell.
So roll. All right. So we're gonna have to back up just to see if you. And it sucks. No, we're not. We're just gonna have to skip.
Yeah, I should have teleported to the Trinidas.
Yes. All right. That's my bad as a game master. I should be keeping track of that. All right. So let's go to Trinidas and then we'll go on.
Okay. So that's a 59 to teleport.
No problem. That's 10 exhaustion.
18 to aim.
Oh dear. That is.
Are we doing a retroactive teleport?
No, we're just trying to skip that one because had things happened.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I rolled a 34 to teleport to so we'll say that's what
so teleporting, so you don't that first teleport to the spell went great. But then that 18 puts you not at the Trinidos.
Right.
It puts you at the Philistines fortification.
I haven't seen that though. I guess.
Have you not?
No. The Trinidos have spoken to me about it.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I have been to like on the hilltop overlooking the villages. And
Right.
the settlements, right?
Or could be there. You still didn't get your horse.
I did not. I didn't go into town though. I ended up just
right.
Yeah.
So we'll put you on the hill overlooking the settlements.
Okay.
Overlooking the first of the settlements. And
Sorry?
Roll for me.
53.
You are a little confused and so on.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, where am I? You know that you're above one of the settlements.
Yeah.
Which one you're not certain.
Just try to teleport out of here quickly.
But down, how far away? Not very far away. About 150 yards coming up the slope sort of towards you is a group of 3 undead. Oh, it's townsfolk.
Oof.
They're now armed. One is a child. A black vapor wreathes its head.
Mm.
It has no weapon. And I think that's where we'll leave it.
Oof. Okay. Bad.
Wow.
Note that down. Bad.
Well, why don't you keep typing, and I'll do some wrap up. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us again. Sort of a mix of relationship episode, investigation episode, and now a little tension, potential combat here toward the end. We always appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We really do. If you think we're doing a good job, then hop to Donor Box and send us a little love. And if you want to hear more from Max, and you do, because he's got a great voice and he has great thoughts on the role of music and original soundtracks and their use in video games. So you can find him on his own YouTube channel there. You see the short link. Thanks, as always, to Elliot Dunovitz for their terrific character art. In the wrong window to get rid of that. And if you want to see more of their work, you can find it at artstation.com/Tortolua. I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far. I hope you like it. Max hated it. He said it was, quote, like reading toilet paper that a homeless person used.
So if you need some toilet paper, then there you go.
It's the way to go. It really is the way to go. So, guys, we really do appreciate it. We are on for next Wednesday of next week. So look forward to us. Barring storms and illnesses, we will be there to see exactly what Brise is going to do about these approaching undead. Max, why don't you say goodbye to these lovely people?
Yeah. First of all, it is a really good book, actually. Can't leave it at that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that episode, and we will see you next Wednesday.
That's right, guys.
Good night,
Thanks for
everybody.
listening. Good night.